flipping over, and like we got to the top really quick.
Now at 6, California sends help to Texas amid deadly flash flooding, and we're hearing heroic stories of rescues.
Plus, will Larry Millete's murder trial be moved out of Chula Vista?
I paid like up to $900 one time, and it was kind of a big chunk of change.
The president says no more tax on tips, but there's a catch.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning to you, and thank you so much for being here. 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connor, and we are on a 4-shot here.
There's 4 of us.
I'm like, surprise!
I'm Millete Rampur, and of course we have Evan Narati, and a big welcome to Vanessa Paz.
Vanessa!
Hey, everyone.
It's great to see you.
Welcome to the team.
We're so happy you're here.
Thank you.
It's nice. It feels whole.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? I know. It's rare that we get to see all 4 of us
Yes.
here on camera.
You're going to be our traffic guru.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean,
Right. She's
we'll
like, I
see.
got
Hopefully,
this.
yeah. I'm really excited. Everyone's been really friendly.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was on 10 formerly for about 5 years,
Yeah,
and I switched gears. I'm on CBS.
And you know these streets very well here.
I do. I'm a San Diego native,
There
born
you
and
go.
raised.
I was
so.
tasked with training Vanessa yesterday, and she ended up teaching me how to do some
Nice.
things with other computers. I was
Great. We'll
I
teach
was
each
like,
other.
I had no idea that you could do some of these
We're a
things.
team already.
So I do
We'll
think she's
teach
a
each
pro.
other a lot of
Exactly.
things.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. I'm glad you're here with
I'm
us.
very
Yes.
excited. Thank you guys so much.
Welcome to the team. Taking a peek at the weather, what, big heat up here.
Yeah, we're going to be warming up as we look across the next couple of days. You can see that heat advisory. That's a new one out across our inland valleys and toward the mountains with temperatures in the 90s for tomorrow afternoon and Thursday. As you get out east all the way to Borrego Springs, Ocotillo Wells, we're jumping into the 110s out there. Could be all the way up to 115 and even 118 at times. That marine layer also breaking apart pretty quickly. Shouldn't be hanging out with cloud cover for too long. Easily moving in the direction of sunshine. Coming up, we're talking about how warm we'll be getting across the county for this afternoon and what to expect through the rest of the week. Vanessa, how are things looking on the roads?
So far, so good. It is 6:02 on your Taco Tuesday. I know a lot of people are still on break. So thankfully, it looks like the freeways are looking fairly light this morning. Not much happening on the 5 in both directions right at Oceanside Boulevard. As we switch gears here, if my clicker will work, bear with me. It is my first shift. There we go. The 8 right at the 805. This is in both directions, just in the Mission Valley area. So far, so good. Fairly quiet out there. As far as freeway speeds, not a lot happening. We're averaging about 70 miles per hour coming in from Oceanside as well as in from Escondido. Not too much brake tapping there. Typically, we have a little bit of slowing as you make your way up towards Mast in from Santee on the 52. No major slowing there. In fact, we're at full freeway speeds. A little bit of brake tapping per usual on the 805 right now as you make your way northbound just after the 94 down to about 23 mile per hour speeds. And we usually see that slowing, stretching near the mile of cars in from National City. Quick look at your travel times out of the South Bay. Coming up, we'll take a look at your travel times out of the East County and the North County coming up.
Vanessa, thank you. This morning, the search for survivors of last week's historic flash floods in Texas continues.
To assist with ongoing response efforts, Governor Gavin Newsom is now deploying urban search and rescue team members to Texas. CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us here in studio this morning with the latest coming out of that state. These numbers, Chris, just shocking to hear.
It's heartbreaking to see everything that has unfolded since Friday, to hear the reaction from those that are on the ground, who are doing this, who are holding out hope that they can still find survivors. So from the California side of things, this search and rescue team will be having a huge role in that on the ground in Texas to help. We're told these teams have a lot of experience assisting in high-profile disasters. Those include the 9/11 attacks, the Oklahoma City bombings, Paradise fires, and even Hurricane Katrina. Governor Gavin Newsom said in a statement, quote, "California stands with all those who have lost loved ones, homes, and livelihoods in the devastating aftermath of these summer floods in Texas. California is sending these specialized resources to support critical emergency response and recovery efforts." Now, as of this morning, officials in Texas report more than 100 people have died. That includes almost 30 campers and counselors at an all-girls sleepaway camp. 10 children and 1 counselor from that Camp Mystic in Kirk County are still unaccounted for. We did hear from survivors about the harrowing fight that they had just to get to safety.
When I opened the door, all this water started flooding back in, and I couldn't walk outside because it was like so powerful. I couldn't close the door. I tried to open up this door, but the door wouldn't open. And then that's when I saw that this window right here was broken, and I swam through it.
Of course, complicating matters. We're hearing the threat of additional flooding still there. Back to that California team, we are told that their deployment will not impact disaster response time here at home. Of course, as we know, we're in the midst of peak wildfire season. Netta?
All right, Chris, thank you for that. And now this morning, we are hearing these stories of heroic rescues during the flooding in Texas. Camp Mystic, as Chris mentioned, that's where more than 24 children and counselors died. One Coast Guard swimmer says he gave up his spot in a helicopter to fit more children on board, and now he's credited with helping save 165 children who were rescued from that camp in what he says was his first mission ever. Elsewhere, a father tragically died saving his daughter.
Held on to him and prayed over his family and did his very best to hang on as long as he could.
Also, take a look at this. Meantime, help is coming from across the border. There's a team from Mexico, now part of the mission to find those people who are still missing.
The defense team for Larry Millete is signaling it wants to have his murder trial held outside of Chula Vista. His team says he won't be able to get a fair jury trial there, and that holding the trial elsewhere would make for a fair trial. Millete is accused of murdering his missing wife, Maya Millete, in Chula Vista. He was arrested in October of 2021, 10 months after she went missing. Her body has not been found. Millete's attorneys are expecting to file the change of venue motion later this month, which will lead to a hearing expected in August. His trial is set for January. He faces life in prison if convicted.
This morning, a local program stepping up to help prevent homelessness among San Diego's senior population.
And this comes as federal funding for housing and homelessness prevention is being slashed by the Trump administration. CBS 8's Regina Yerita live downtown, well, with these details. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Netta and Eric. That's right. And this program is called Senior Safe at Home, and it has been helping older San Diegans from falling into homelessness. And it's also looking into expanding their initiative to help those who are on the verge of homelessness or are already unsheltered. So the Lucky Duck Foundation launched the program in September of 2023 with an initial $500,000 investment. It's an initiative that is becoming increasingly crucial, especially as federal funds for homelessness prevention programs are dwindling. Now, the program works by providing vulnerable seniors with a monthly subsidy between $250 and $750, depending on their income, to help cover rent and prevent them from ending up on the streets. It also offers case management and employment navigation services. The Lucky Duck Foundation, with the help of the Rancho Santa Fe Foundation, have now been able to raise an additional $700,000 into the program, allowing them to assist 25 more seniors while continuing to support their current participants. So we were able to talk to the CEO, and here's what he told us.
A lot of seniors that are this close to falling on the streets, because many of them are living on a fixed income, and we know what inflation and the cost of housing is doing. And just a few extra $100 per month is all it takes to keep a senior safely housed.
And it is important to mention what the nonprofit has actually talked about. It's that seniors make up the largest segment of the county's unsheltered population and the fast growing group, according to the point in time count. Eric and Netta, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you for that.
And you see the overcast skies out there. Don't let that fool you. It's not going to be like a cool day by any means.
No, and honestly, already across our mountains, even many of our inland valleys, we do not have that marine layer presence. We talked yesterday about how we would see less depth to that marine layer. We'd see it less thick. We'd see it stretching a little closer to the coastline as opposed to inland. And that's exactly what we have to start off the day. It's barely heading east of the 15, the 805 even. So it's quite a mild start to the morning, and there's no fog out there, just some clouds. Take a look at how your temperatures are going to change between now and Thursday. This is what we're talking about in terms of that warm up. You can see how El Cajon, for example, upper 80s today, then breaking into the 90s for Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. A heat advisory going to be in effect across our inland valleys. For Julian, same situation, upper 80s today, low 90s Wednesday, Thursday. Could head all the way up to 114, maybe even 115 in Borrego by Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday too. So the heat is going to be felt, and the coastline is going to be a place to go to find some relief. Like I mentioned, sun already coming out in Santee, 60 degrees right now, 62 in Vista, and 64 in downtown San Diego, as well as in National City. Still holding on to the overcast skies out by the coastline. Here's a live look outside. Sunrise was at 5:48, like I talked about. Sometimes we'll look at this view and it is just completely socked in. Today, we do still have a layer of clouds out by the coast. This is west facing, so you got the Pacific there looking great. Already some breaks in the clouds showing that within the next hour or two, we should be moving easily in the direction of sunshine. Sunset not coming until 8 p.m., so we've got a lot of day length on hand. And like we've talked about, that is going to cause a lot of people to head west and to maybe avoid some of the heat that we've got on hand. So for today, upper 80s in the forecast inland. And then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, it's a short-lived heat wave, right? Wednesday and Thursday are the 2 days we're watching for in particular, with that heat advisory and excessive heat warning both in play for those 2 days. And then as we get into the upcoming weekend, we'll start to see those temperatures slide back to the mid-80s. Vanessa, how are things looking?
Not so good, depending on where you are. We have a new crash that we are tracking at the Golden Triangle. This is going to be on the Nobel Drive side. 805 North, to be specific, traffic down to 1 lane, so 3 lanes are currently blocked as a result. And as far as the slowing goes, again, if my clicker will work here, sorry guys, again, user error maybe, I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just me not pressing a play button. There we go. All right, the slowing you can see stretching down to about 2 miles at last check. And I'm pressing play, I promise you, but it's just not doing anything. Right now, speeds, though, down to about 7 miles per hour. So again, this is at the bottom of the Golden Triangle. Maybe want to look out for that, or maybe leave time for travel as you head out the door this morning. As we take a look at your travel times out of the North County, close to 30 minutes right now, southbound in from Encinitas, down to the 805 if you're traveling in from the 15 from Escondido down to that 163 merge. It'll take you about 10 minutes or so. And an easy 15-minute drive still on the 78 west coming in from Escondido as you make your way towards Oceanside on the 78. All right, and now let's take a look at your border times. Right now, a little over 2 hours to get on the San Ysidro from the San Ysidro side. Meanwhile, from the Otay Mesa port of entry, it'll take you about 1 hour and 15 minutes at last check.